Hello YouTube, Prof Sales coming at you with another video on today, Monday, November 14th, 2016. How's everybody doing?
Hello YouTube, Prof Sales coming at you with another video.
Woo, let's kill that. So the audio sounds good. All right, we can deal with that. Let me turn down my speakers here so we don't get any echo and see what everybody's up to today. All right, so it is Monday, almost the middle of November, right? So we're about halfway through the month, and hopefully you guys are doing well on your goals for this month. November has been an interesting month so far, business-wise for me, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But I just want to say hello, everybody. I guess it's been a few days since we talked, which is always interesting after that happens. And you know, how's everybody doing? Let me know in the chat. Let me know how your weekend went, how your weekend went personally, how your weekend went business-wise. It's all up for grabs. It's all up for conversation. So anyway, I had a great weekend, and we will get into that as well. Let me just minimize a couple of these windows here. I got way too many windows open, and it's really bothering me. All right, so looks like we've already got about 26 people online, which is cool. Lots of people in the chat room already. Shout out a couple people just to give you a hey. Flipping Grass, Henry's in the room. Turtle Trader, OG Top Deals. I don't think we've seen you for a while, OG. Welcome back. Darren is in the room. Jeremy Best, Stone Mason, Chicago Crown Hustler, Tony Quinn, Thrift School, Rhonda, and let's see, Michael Stone, or maybe I already said that one, Sandra Bevins, Johnson, Jeremy already got. Yeah, so lots of people already in the room, about 30 people already, and can't wait to have a good show because it's been a few days. All right, so yes, it started. Someone let Sandra know in the chat. I don't know why it does that sometimes. YouTube's got some funny things. I've been learning a lot about YouTube lately and trying to send photos. So we got lots of topics to talk about today. So I definitely want to get right into that. First off, I want to say that Wednesday, November 16th, is going to be the 100 listing in a day reselling challenge. We are going to be streaming up to 8 hours plus of time to show you guys how we go through listings in a day. And our goal is to get 100 more listings up. We'll start the day. I'll show you where my totals are so you can kind of see some transparency there. Who knows? You may even find out what my store name is. It's probably out there. It is out there, I know for sure, but it may come up. It may not. If it does, it does. You know, the only negative part about putting your store name out there is people go visit it, and it can give you a lot of viewers without any sales. So it can kind of push down your rankings for eBay, theoretically at least. And that's why a lot of resellers don't do it. So Wednesday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when we will be starting. Our plan, guys, just so you know, is to stream in 2-hour segments at a time. We were going to stream it one big long stream, but I thought, you know what? If something happens to that stream, we'll lose the entire day. If it's all in one, it'll take forever to process potentially, because it can take a while for even an hour video to process. So we plan to stream at 8 and go till 10, and then we will start another one right at 10 a.m. and go to 12, and then another one 12 to 1. Or 12 to 2, and then 2 to probably 5. So we're going to give ourselves 9 hours, because honestly, in between like chats and questions and people, asking things, and you got to go to the bathroom. We're going to eat lunch in there somewhere. It needs to be a little more than 8 hours. So we will give you kind of a setup back here. We'll show you all that. I'm going to stream it straight from my Mac. So the same camera, so I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. I'm going to show you what we're starting with. I'm going to show you our area where we're going to inventory all 100 genes that we do in that day, and what that looks like. and we'll just go through it. And, I don't know how exciting it'll be, guys. I mean, there's a lot of excitement around it. I'm not sure it's going to be that awesome, to be honest with you. I hate to poo-poo it, but honestly, I've gotten a lot of nothing but positive feedback about it. And I think it'll be a cool challenge to do. Maybe, for me, obviously, it's a challenge to get that many listings done in a day because I haven't done that many in a day. But, I think also when we're able to accomplish it, I think other people maybe hopefully will find some solace in that and say, oh, well, you know what? It's possible to do 100 a day. So my 10 in a day doesn't seem that big a steep mountain to climb now. I'm hoping that's what people will take from it. I don't know that they will or not, but we will see. But yes, the comments are already coming in, so that's interesting. Yeah, but it'll be Wednesday, and we look to run from about 8 to 5, basically. Come in whenever you want, guys. I mean, come hang out for a while. Keep it on the background if you like. Leave, come back, don't come back, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. It's your show too. I mean, I'm just going to be here working and talking. One thing I will not be doing is playing music, so I don't get a copyright violation. So it might not be super exciting in terms of volume, but that is what it is. I don't know exactly how long it'll take me to do that many. I have some ideas, but I kind of want to keep those to myself and see if they're accurate or not. And just because I know kind of what time it takes me to do listings. But the goal is to start the set number of listings, and by the end of the day, do at least 100 more. For those who don't know, we will be presetting some. We will be, preparing some things beforehand. Like we're going to have a fixture here where I'm going to store them all after they're done. Karen is going to have at least 50 photos already ready for me, and she will be doing more photos throughout the day. And we're just gonna go at it, guys, and see what happens. We're gonna try this. It's gonna be spectacular. Hopefully not a spectacular fail, but it's gonna be spectacular something. Let me grab a little water here. So anyway, that's Wednesday. The shows are already set on the first part of the channel. You can go on, you can set reminders, and I look to just do them boom, 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 one after another, and that's the plan. So hopefully it'll work fine. Hopefully technology will be our friend that day. Anything's possible. I've never streamed a 2-hour show before, but I don't foresee there being an issue with that. So anyway. All right, lots of comments in here. People are talking about their sales. People are talking about the listing challenge. Jen's waiting for a refund at Costco. All right. Sandra's looking forward to see how we do it. Yep, I will definitely. I plan to do some screen sharing, guys, to show you what it looks like. A lot of you, I think, have not used the mobile app necessarily to list on eBay. So we'll get into that and what that looks like. Hopefully you will at least understand it. Even if you don't use it going forward, you'll realize it's another tool in the arsenal you could use for your listings. But I will definitely show you what that looks like for me. And yes, it will be recorded. So just to clarify that, it will record, it will process. Each one will be there for you guys to look through. Afterwards, we'll throw in nuggets. We'll keep you guys updated with the tally, like how we're doing, where our counts are, things like that. Just little things that come up. I can't sit here and tell you that I've got 8 hours of content in my brain to share with you guys, because I don't. That's a lot of content. If you've ever tried to put together even an hour of content, it's a lot. So I can't sit here and tell you, oh, we're going to cover these 27 topics. But I'm sure there will be topics that come up during the show. There will be topics that come up from the chat. People will ask questions and make comments, and we'll talk about those. And, we'll cover them. So there you go. It's a potpourri. It's a mystery what all we'll talk about. Megan says, how do you keep all the photos sorted and added to the right listing when you're taking so many of the similar items? That is a great question, and we actually have a pretty easy solution to that. Basically what we do, Megan, and Karin could explain a little bit better, but we shoot a in-between photo, a blank, if you will, in between each set of photos for jeans, for instance, and that tells you that another set of jeans is coming. And I'm pretty good at like picking them out, and I've always got the jeans right here beside me when I'm doing it, so I can always look back if there is an issue, but there really aren't too many issues with that. It's rare that I've ever posted the wrong photos to a listing. And it works really well. I can't take credit for that system. I'm sure somebody else came up with it. Popcorn, nice. We will be discussing brands, of course. And we're going to discuss some brands on this. All right, so let me move on to some of the other topics we have for today's show. So we did a little auction experiment this weekend. Actually, we did it for a while. We did it for about 10 days. I think I mentioned this the last show we had. And I know some of you do auctions already, but as a jean seller, I haven't really delved into auctions too much, to be honest. So I have some pretty set views about auctions, and I don't think they're not negative views, but just what I think is the right thing to auction and what's not, and what makes sense, and things like that. So I decided to auction a pair of Miss Me jeans. A lot of you sell jeans. You know the brand Miss Me. You know it's a popular brand. I have 100% sell-through on Miss Me. I don't have any problem selling Miss Me. I don't know any jean reseller that does. They tend to sell. And normally, it's kind of interesting how this occurred. So normally what happens, and we can cover this more on Wednesday, when I get a pair of like a little bit higher end jeans, sometimes I will go on and when I will search solds, recent solds, to kind of see what the pricing is. All right. So this particular pair, I happened to go on that day when I came to them in my listing. They were a good looking pair of Miss Me, and I thought, I'm going to see just kind of what they're selling for lately. So I went on. I did pre-owned. I did completed and solds together. Like I choose both those tabs on a search on the mobile app, and it pulled up all these Miss Me's that it sold, and it pulled up that particular or ones like that one. And I noticed that some of them were selling for substantially higher amounts than what others were selling for. Now, if you go on and you look up jeans in general, you're going to see sometimes a wide range of prices. But with a jean like Miss Me, usually most of them are fairly high, even the pre-owned ones. But some of them were even quite a bit higher. So what I did was I looked at how they were selling, and I realized that most of the ones that were selling higher were auctions. So what I did, gang, and this is a good tip. I think it's a good tip. I went to a few of these auctions and I looked at the original listing, and I looked at what people started out. You can see the bidding history. I looked at what the seller started the items out at and how many bids came in and kind of how long they ran the auction for and what the items finally sold for. So I kind of had in my mind this paradigm for how I should set up these auctions. And I decided, I'm going to auction this pair. Now, normally if I list Miss Me, this particular type, I would probably list it somewhere around $25 to $30 plus shipping. This particular pair, this particular brand, this particular cut and fit and all these things. And I have no problem selling them for that amount. No problem at all. And I usually do a buy it now. I don't do a best offer, and it sells. It might take a couple months. It might sell in a month. It might sell in a couple weeks sometimes. Sometimes they sell pretty quick. They usually sell, most of them sell within 2 months, almost all the time. But I decided to auction this pair, and I kind of thought, well, what's my sale price I want to start at? Like, if it sells for that price, I won't be mad. I won't be upset. And I thought, I'm going to start this auction, because I was looking at some of the other people's, at $19.99 plus shipping. So $20 basically, right? Which is a high number to start an auction at. A lot of auctions often will get started really low, and the idea is that hopefully people will bid them up. But I didn't want to sell it that, I didn't want it to just, I thought, well, man, I've never done this before. If this thing sells for 99 cents, I'm going to be annoyed. So I didn't want to do that. And I thought if it doesn't sell, I will relist it as a buy it now. No harm, no foul, no big deal. I set it up for 10 days. And a couple bids came in within the first day or two, and it was basically bid up to about $21. Right? No big deal. And I'm sitting there thinking like, man, I didn't really make anything on this. Well, I realized that, like, you got to kind of wait and you got to be patient with these things, right? I mean, you can't just sit there and think, oh, well, it's just going to blow up super, super fast and I'm going to make a ton of money. Well, as it kept sitting there, I realized that, like, sometimes it just takes people a while to see your item. Well, this past weekend, it started getting bid up. And finally, the auction ended, I think last night, or maybe it was the night before. I can't remember which day I ended it on. And it ended up selling for $46 plus shipping. So to give you an idea, that is like, 50-60% higher than what it normally would sell for as a buy it now, or what I'd been selling them for as a buy it now. And I was a little surprised. I mean, I didn't think it would go quite that high. I thought it might go to maybe $40. So even to go to like 46, I was like, that's a good amount. And I got rid of it in just over a week, so. And what I learned was, with the right item and the right look, and sort of the right pricing structure and so on, an auction can be a valuable tool for selling, some of your items. I don't think that an auction is something I'm going to use for the majority of my items. We are considering, and this ties into another subject, we are considering, guys, and some of you might have experience with this, is that we might start selling some of our old backstock that we might start selling some of our older items at auction just to get rid of them. But even more so, we might go back through some of our defects, not really defects, but just items that didn't quite make the cut, and flip some of those for cheap. I don't know. I mean, it gets rid of them. It gets you a sale. It's not going to get a lot of money out of them, but they're not moving locally. We could donate them. So we just think that there might be some opportunity there. And I think you guys could use that too. I know some of you guys are big proponents of auctions already. And I've kind of resisted them just because I don't think for most clothing they make sense. For most clothing. And I still don't think they do. But with certain items that have tremendous interest in them in general, and by the way, this item had like probably 15 watchers, maybe even 20 by the end. I don't remember how many it capped at. I didn't really keep up with it that closely, but so it had a lot of interest, and some people are just watching to see what it'll sell for because maybe they want to sell it or a similar item, and others were genuinely interested in it. But it was a great experience, I got to say, all the way around. I mean, I was surprised it went for quite that much. Not that that was some huge, but that's equivalent to like over 2 pair of regular jeans. So, that's great. I mean, it's great profit on it, all those things. But anyway, so, auctions are definitely a tool you can use to move certain items if they meet, certain criteria. But again, if you're a clothing seller, I don't think you want to do them all the time. Someone said if I started them on Sunday. I did, Susanna. I don't remember if it was Sunday evening exactly where it was, but I did start it on a Sunday. Or maybe I set it so it would end on Sunday, if I think about it. So anyway, auctions, I wanted to share that with you guys. So, hey guys, there's 60 people in the room. So thank you very much for that. Awesome turnout on a Monday afternoon. And I do appreciate you guys coming out. I would ask you, if you're enjoying the content, please smash the like button. Let them know Karin in the chat. She's upstairs editing some photos, actually. And lets me know I'm doing a good job. So please hit the like button if you're enjoying it. Or if you're watching this later and you like it, hit it there as well. All right, let me see what else I got here. Let's see what the other questions are, and let me just kind of get a feel for who all is in the chat. All right. Karen wanted me to let you guys know. She had a little note here for me called Finders Keepers. So as some of you know, Karen is a huge, I don't know, fan's not the right word, just really loves the thrill of the hunt in the pockets of the jeans that she processes and see what she can find. And she likes to find money. I mean, who doesn't like to find money, right? Well, today I heard her say a certain expletive, which I'm not going to repeat on the air. This is a family show. But she was able to find $25, a 20 and a 5 in a pocket of a pair of jeans. So I think that takes her total now to 33 she's found. So at this rate, she's going to be able to retire in a few 100 years. But it's coming any day now, a few decades. But $25. And she actually kind of felt bad about it because, you know, somebody left $25. One thing if you leave $1, but 25, it's like somebody probably missed that. But what can you really do now at this point? I mean, who knows whose money that is, and there's no way to find it. So, but anyway, Finders Keepers was a note I had, so I wanted to share that with you guys. We also wanted to talk about some sourcing that we've done recently as well. So I don't have a good shot of it right now, but in the last 2 days, I guess it was actually yesterday and Friday, not Saturday, but Friday and Sunday, we went out sourcing and we hit our local stores here in Goodwill, here in the Charlotte area, and we were able to pull in another 160 pair of jeans in 2 days. That encompassed, let's see, we hit 4 stores the first day. And yesterday we hit 1, 2, 3, 4. So 8 stores, 150 pair, or 160 pair, 20 pair a store. Great numbers. No complaint with those. That set us up for the Wednesday challenge. We one store we pulled 34 out of, which was great. It's funny, a little funny side story here. Karen and I had a little disagreement for a moment at the last store we went to. So let me just kind of give you let me set the scenario. So we go in and Karen's going through the jeans, and I'm actually been going through some men's clothing as of late too, like sweaters and long sleeve shirts. I did find some. I don't know if I've got them right here in front of me to share with you. I really don't, but. And then after that, I was going over to help her finish up the jeans. Well, there was a small maternity section in this store, and it was the last store we went to, and we were probably both a little tired. You know, it was getting later in the day, and I went through the maternity section, which was all of about, I don't know, maybe 40 pair. But I told her that I did, or at least I think I did, but I'm not sure she heard me, or else I really didn't tell her. So I get all the jeans she's got. We only got 10 out of the last store. So we roll up to the front, and I'm paying for it. Well, so I'm paying for it, and I go through the line, and the line went super quick, like quicker than it normally does at Goodwill. Like this cashier was really fast. Well, Karen said, you know, hey, I'm going to go shop for a minute. I'm like, cool. So I get done paying, and I turn around, and we're getting ready to. I'm getting ready to walk out, and she's standing there with like several pair of jeans in her hands, and I'm going. She's like, "Oh, I found these." I'm like, "Where did you find those?" She goes, "Maternity." And I went, "I did maternity already." And she goes, "Well, I found them," and I'm going, "Well, I don't think they must not be that great." I said something like that. I don't remember exactly what I said. And she's like, "All right, fine." So she takes them and puts them back. And then we proceeded to argue about it for like the next 15 minutes in the car about how we both source differently. And we do. Like she looks at it differently. And I realize that like I have very strict standards about only pulling certain sizes and so on, where she will pull a little bit more of the bread and butter jeans. And together that kind of makes sense. Like when you put those two together, we get a nice combination. But when one of us goes back through the other person's section, we're going to look at it differently than they did. And, since we've kind of been sourcing these stores a little bit differently lately, we realized that could happen. And so it was just a good reminder, guys. If you're outsourcing with somebody else, if your significant other or somebody in your family is helping you, just remember, they're not going to always see it the same way you are. And that's okay. It's not about who's right or wrong. It's really just about finding a balance for your business. What you can source and what you can sell and what you think you'll make good profit at. And sometimes you're going to disagree with that, but just kind of set down the ground rules maybe before you go sourcing. And you should do those ground rules with yourself and even think, all right, if I go in here and I don't find anything, this is a classic reseller fallacy. If I go in here and I don't find anything, or I don't find anything that meets my criteria, I should still buy something because I'm wasting my time. Sometimes your time is just spent realizing that particular source of inventory is not going to be good that day. You're just not going to find much, if anything. So you've always got to be thinking about making a smart buy, whatever your criteria is, instead of just thinking, I have to buy something because I'm in this store. Yeah, your time is valuable, but guess what, gang? If you go in there and there's nothing to buy, that's not a wasted trip, because the next time you go, you might kill it. You might get double the number of items. Who knows? It's just going to be an average over the long run, and you can't get all caught up in, oh, I'm here now, I've got to buy this coffee mug, even though I don't sell coffee mugs. You can do that, but you're going to end up, guys, I'm going to tell you, if you've got some niches that you're selling in, and most of you do, and you start buying a lot of stuff out of that niche just because you were in a store, or you were at a yard sale, or you were at an estate sale, or whatever, you're going to end up with a lot of stuff that I guarantee you're probably not going to list. Or it's going to be way down the list of priority, because you're thinking, my niche is this, but this is something different. Oh, I'll get to it eventually. I wouldn't do it. I would just stay away from it. Yeah, I mean, I know you want to maximize your time, but take the time to learn something maybe while you're in there. But don't just buy a bunch of junk just because you happen to be there, or it's not profitable, or it's going to take a long time to sell, or you're not really sure if it's saleable or not, or the condition, or the type, or the color, or whatever the issues are. I mean, that's a bad strategy. Go in there with a strategy and stick to it. Even if you realize that you come out of there with literally nothing, that's okay. I was listening to Gary Vee today, actually, and he was talking about investing, and he was with this big round table of people who had won a contest, and they were asking questions, and they were talking about investing. And he said, I'm not like a lot of other investors. I don't have to go make a deal just because I think, because I have some money in my pocket. And he's right. Sometimes the best way to play the game is not to play. Sometimes that's the right move. Money you don't lose is just as good as money that you make. And that's a poker analogy. Money you don't lose or put in the middle that is a good chance you're going to lose is just as valuable as money you win. So it still spends the same. And it's the same thing with reselling. Money you don't spend on things that you're not going to list, or don't know much about, or you're not sure about, is just, if you keep that money, you've got it for next time. It's still in your pocket. And anyway, so I don't want to get that far off on that. Spiky says the person who pays is always right. Let's see. I try to sell, I'm looking at some of these questions. I try to sell 1/3 or 3 times cost, 1/3 cost, 1/3 fees, 1/3 profit. Yeah, it's a good rule of thumb, Gary, to start with. I mean, it's not a perfect analogy, but there's a lot of things. Megan says, what things do you sell? New to your channel. Obviously, jeans has been a big focus as of late on eBay, Megan, but we also sell things on Amazon, all kinds of things. There's books, CDs, electronics, games, board games, some toys, things like that, as well as some things locally on Craigslist and OfferUp and Garage Sale and so on. I just don't talk about it as much on my channel because it's easier to show you guys what I'm doing with my eBay business, and it's the biggest chunk of my business by far. as of right now. So Chicago Crown Hustler said, I walked out of my Goodwill today with nothing for the first time. It's okay. That happens. That's going to happen. You know, I mean, that's fine. Susanna asked, did you have a buy it now price on your auction jeans? I don't think I did, Susanna. I can't remember. I guess I could pull it up, right? I got my iPad over here. I can't remember if I had a buy it now. Again, I'm an auction newbie. And so maybe I should have had a buy it now, but I'm pretty sure that I did not. And I'm looking at it right now. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I did. I think it was just an auction. So there you go. And with just jeans, he can subject us to prof math. Oh no, Stone, I can subject you to prof math no matter what. But thanks for the vote of confidence. Let's see, what else do I have here? That covers the latest sourcing. All right, let me show you guys kind of my results from the weekend and how we've been doing. So we'll do a quick screen share. Hang on. And we will go to this. All right. So here we are, gang. Friday was today's 14th, 13th, 12th, 11th. Friday was the 11th. Really slow day. These 2 days, only 4 and 4 for jean sales. Really not so great. Only 4 for $95. On Saturday, I did start a sale and had a really big day at $458 with 17 sold. And the next day was good too, Sunday, with 12 sold for $322. So that's a $780 weekend. That's pretty good. That's one of the better weekends we've had. A couple things blew that up a little bit, just as full disclosure. Obviously, the Miss Me's, it sold for $46, and I sold a pair of Rock Revivals. I think those were on Saturday. Yeah, and they sold for like $98, I think. They were new with tags, gang, so that was a Nordstrom rack pickup. I picked those up for, I think, around 35, maybe $38 plus tax. And they usually will sell for around $100. These were actually on sale, down from like 110 to like 95. So still a good pickup, still netted like $40 on them, which I'm pretty happy with. Let's see some results on the month. So far in the month for November, we are at 32.45. A little off the pace of last month for sure, I would say at this point, but still not too bad, especially with some of those bigger sales that came in this weekend. That helped. 133 sold so far this month, which is pretty good. Net percentage is really high at 42. So I'm happy about that. And an average net per jean of $10.24, which is really high. That's the highest I think we've had since we started this challenge. Sell-through is at 15%, not even halfway through the month. So we're definitely looks like we're gonna hit that 1% per day goal that I have. And I've listed 196 so far this month. So that gives you an idea about how much the 100 listings in a day challenge is. The cool thing about that is after that and after today, I should be right around my goal of 300 by the middle of the month, which is right on track. So I'm happy about that. It'll be great to get that kind of underway. I don't know if my graphs are up to date. I can try to show you. Let's see what we got. Yeah, they're not actually up to date. The gross per day up to date really quickly. Yeah, so there's the so we're right about the $300 mark, guys, per day, which is pretty cool on the gross. And the number sold is, let's see here. Oh, that's already right. That's about right. So you can see nice steady climb. It's been climbing for months. Number listing is pretty good as well. Not too bad. And the sell-through number, let me see if this is up to date real quick. Yes, it is. So the sell-through, guys, we said would be around 1%, which is this line right here. So we've been above that, about 1.25, which is really good. And pretty happy with that number. Listings up, has been steadily climbing. But it kind of goes, you know, this is some good feedback for you guys. You can see how the listings kind of goes in these peaks and valleys. So it's not like it just goes up, 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 up. And that's as you get some good sell-through days, you're going to see that. You're going to see like your listings sort of taper back off and go back up and taper off and go up. And, you know, it's a good problem to have when you're selling a bunch and you can't get your listing total up. That's a good problem to have. But I'm still nowhere near really where I'd want to be to get anywhere near 5,000 listings, obviously. Long way from that. Lots of things to think about there. So that's the results for the month. Let's see. Yeah, we did this one. So that's where we're at. All right, let me get off of this. Come back to you guys. Hopefully that all made sense and you were able to decipher all that nonsense. I say that with love. Let's see. All right, any questions in here? Somebody's message was deleted. I'm not sure what that's all about. Let's see. Prof math exists in all dimensions. Yeah, that's true, actually. It kind of does. Darren says, it's been easier to shop auctions because I can look a lot and tell if I will at least break even. That makes sense, Darren. I'm always curious. Oh, by the way, that was kind of interesting. I got a buyer who's asked me for a bunch of measurements in the last few days because they want to buy like multiple pair and combine shipping and so on, which of course I'll do. I don't know how many they're going to get and how much it'll be. You know, anytime you get a request like that, guys, you obviously should try to honor it. I mean, they literally asked me about 5 pair of jeans for measurements all within the space of about 2 hours. And, you know, this morning I went up there and got them all, did the measurements as I was pulling my sales, and, you know, you just do it. Hopefully they'll buy them all. I don't know if they will or not, but in any case, and remember, guys, too, if you answer a question about a listing, you can add that to the reply to your listing if you want. That way, if someone else has the same question, they might be able to read that and see it. So, Henry, I'm not sure what your question is. Is this Sing On or Deek? I don't know what that, I'm not sure your question. Gary says, is it very important to include the UPC number listing? Gary, you really only have to do that if it's new. If it's new with tags, you need to do that. eBay is trying to build out this idea that people will be able to search by UPCs. So that's why they're starting to require new items to include those. Not sure if you can do it new without tags. If anybody knows the answer to that, if you list new without tags, do you still have to include the UPC? Because if it doesn't have the tags, it's a little trickier to get the UPC a lot of times. But if somebody knows the answer to that, please share with us in the chat. I'm not really sure. Wow, your listings are down better. I know, right, Stone? I mean, that's the problem. When you get a good sell-through weekend, you know, when you sell like 15 things in a weekend, you know, and you're at these totals, it's just, you got to go list that many again, right? You know, so that's like a day of listing. Let's see. Megan said she got some nice Disney plushes. How do I clean him? He has some tiny stains on his hat. Ooh, not the right person to ask there, Megan, but I'm pretty sure you could probably find some great YouTube videos on how to clean plush. You don't want to put anything on it that will destroy the color. And so some chemicals and so on might. So you need to be careful about that. It may have care instructions on it, but if it's got a stain, I just don't know. Where can I get one of these templates? Prof, I know. I promise it's coming. I'm working on it. For UPC, you can select not available. Yeah. And Stone, here's the thing. I know that they were doing that, but I know at some point they were going to say that you needed to include it and you couldn't keep using that. I'm not sure if that's happened yet or not, but we'll see. But yeah, so new without tags. I think Stone is saying you can put an A on it for the UPC, and that would be pretty cool. So one other thing I want to ask you guys too with Wednesday, I know there's a lot of people are going to be watching and are going to jump onto those shows, but if you can leave me on this in the comments here, not necessarily the chat comments, although that's fine too, but if you can leave in the comments of this video, just leave like anything special you'd want to see or us cover. And I only say that, guys, because it's a lot of time to fill, and I just don't want to, I don't want it to become too draggy and boring. So, you know, think about that. Like if there's anything specific, and it can be item specific to jeans, or it could be business specific. It could be, you know, way to do listings or what have you. Just leave in the comments and let us know. We'll do our best to work it in, guys. I mean, that's a lot of time to fill. So we've got to have some time to do that. Obviously, we can't jump way off and take, you know, 30 minutes explaining something. But if you've got anything particular you want to do with that, you know, feel free to leave that in the comments, and we'll do our best to work that in. Besides, hey Tanya, besides magic erasers and alcohol wipes, what other cleaning items should I be using? That's a good start. You could try Goo Gone, works well too if you've got stickers and residue and things like that. Let's see. Is it true that people with stores get better search results? That's a great question, Susanna. I don't know if there's ever been a definitive answer to that, but you would think that eBay would give you a little push with the store. Like business model wise, if I were running eBay, I would, because I'd want to keep my store owners happy because they're giving me a constant monthly revenue stream, right? It just seems like it would be a good business decision on their part. Now, whether they do that or not, I don't know. But I just think it makes sense that you would, from a business standpoint. If I'm running eBay, I'm gonna do that for sure. So let's see what other questions. Let's see. Taking measurements. Karen, I don't know if you're still on up there, but I should probably write that down. Taking measurements. That's Karen's.
I think Tony is taking measurements. Maybe that's what Tony means by that.
No, I think that's a question.
Okay.
Pretty sure. Taking measurements would be something that they would want to know. Right, and that makes sense, right? Like how to do those. By the way, we got in this whole big inseam argument last week. I don't know what to say about it. There's been several comments about it, but you know, basically, guys, measure the inseam, take a photo of it, and you know, if you want to put in your specifics, you know, do that. If you don't, that's cool too. I'm just telling you that the tags on jeans are not always correct, and I don't think it's always a misprint. I think sometimes that those jeans got through because that's what they thought the inseam really should have been. And sometimes the inseam that is shown on there and even is measured is not what they would, they don't pass the eyeball test when you hold them up to a real live person who wears a certain length. But all that being said, if you really want to just cover yourself there, take a photo of the inseam measurement, include it as one of your photos, put approximately, if you want, in your item description, whatever you want to do there, just to cover yourself. I mean, it's not a huge issue, and I don't want to get all back into it again, but you know, it helps your item in the rankings. We think item specific, so it is good to have it in there. But there's some disagreement, not about how to measure an inseam, but just whether or not every manufacturer is thinking about it the same way and measuring it the same way. listing it the same way on their labels. So that was really my point. I'm not questioning about how you should measure it and what the measurement should be, but I just see so many of them that are off from what's on the tag. And I don't think I'm measuring it wrong because I've watched numerous videos on it. I've read blog articles. I've read eBay's articles on it. I've read clothing articles on it. I don't think I'm measuring it wrong. It's just a matter of, I just think there's a lot of jeans out there that have some funky stuff going on, or different manufacturers think in a different way. So let's see here. Let me remove that. I'm not sure what Kevin's getting at there, but not really appropriate for the channel there, Kevin. I'd love to see the dollar amount of the 100 jeans also. Maybe you can make a store category called challenge to keep the jeans separated and tell us the running dollar amount. So you're asking how much we would make on them? I mean, we could do that, but it's going to take a long time to kind of get all that data in, Scott. I'm not sure how useful it'll be. Let's see here. All right, so we will. That would just take a really long time to do, Scott. I mean, 100 jeans right now at this time of year is going to sell through theoretically in like 2.5 months. And you're going to make a net profit on them that's going to be based on your pricing. I mean, I'm not saying I would not do it. I just don't know that it would be that useful for you to, I don't know that you would get anything different from what I've shown in other videos, maybe is my thought process. So anyway, let's see here. Should we always put free shipping or free and fast? No, I don't think so. Winkabee. I mean, I've gone back and forth on that a little bit. With clothing, I would recommend that you charge shipping. And I didn't used to be this way, but the more I thought about it, it made sense. And the reason is because of returns. When you offer free shipping on an item and it gets returned, you end up eating that shipping cost. There's no way to really get that back. Yes, you got the cost from, that person, theoretically, you priced it into your item, but you still had to pay that money out. Whereas if you just ship it to them and they return it, you just refund their money. You don't refund their shipping cost. And a lot of buyers, I mean, the good thing about that is it allows you to price your items lower, which is nice for people who are shopping for a little lower price point. The bad part about it is people do like free shipping. There's no question. And they don't like it as much when they realize they've got to pay to ship it back to you. But shipping is expensive, and if you're shipping volume every month, if you're shipping 100 or 200 or 300 items, like even in jeans, like last month I shipped, let me go back and look real quick. I shipped 347 pair of jeans, okay? So, that's at my cost on that is like roughly $6. It's a little bit less than that, and that's just my shipping cost. So that's $2,082 last month I spent on shipping. That's, $24,000 a year at that rate. I mean, if you're taking big hits on that because of free shipping and people are making returns, and I'm going to get 4% return. So, let's see, 2,085. What did I say times? Yeah. So that would have cost me $83 in shipping cost, just in the returns on average. That's $1,000 a year. It would cost me if I did free shipping on these jeans, just on jeans, guys. That's significant to me. That's worth, that's worth it. But yeah, she got them. She's still on mobile. I know Karen's even on mobile and managing the chat room. She's Wonder Woman. Sorry, I didn't even see the messages, guys. I was talking, I didn't see them, but Apparently the trolls are out today, which I'm sure we'll have some Wednesday too. Good for us. Hey, wow, man, this is getting to be bad. Let's see. So we are going to report that and then block. Sorry about all these guys taking over the chat room, guys. I don't know what's going on there. I wish there was some way I could stop anyone new from coming in, because I probably would. James, I think one of your comments got blocked by mistake, so sorry about that if that was you earlier. I think so. I'm not really sure why we're having such a bunch of trolls all of a sudden, but hey, probably the same people coming in, and just different. We're gonna wrap the show up anyway, but yeah. So that's my thoughts on shipping, guys. I wouldn't offer free shipping on clothing items. I just don't think it really makes that much sense. So, decide if you want to do it or not. I mean, you're going to get maybe a sales bump. eBay says you get a sales bump with free shipping. And it says you get a, I think it's like double digits, like 10, 13%, but it's going to cost you something in returns. So you got to make that decision for you if you think that's the right play for your business. For me, though, I decided to move to calculated shipping or flat rate shipping. And what is it, in January, the rates are going up for USPS. So I'm probably going to have to push that up a little bit as well. Not sure what that'll look like yet. Probably up to maybe $7 will be the cost. And, I just don't want to be out money for shipping. I'm not looking to make any money on it, guys. But I don't want to lose money on it either. And one thing I found too is when people combine orders, if you get 2 orders or more from the same person, as cheap as that padded flat rate or even a flat rate mailer would be, a lot of times it's cheaper to go ahead and ship the item separately than it is to combine the shipping. The 2 to 3 pound, the 2 pound to 3 pound shipping cost for me to ship to, say, the West Coast is like $14 and something if I just put it in a priority mail package. But if I ship them both flat rate, padded flat rate, it's only going to cost me $11.80. So anyway, wow, this is crazy. I don't know where all these people are coming from. Let's see. We're going to report, and I don't know where these people are coming from. I'm not really sure what's going on here. Yeah, I need to call YouTube. This is kind of crazy, Henry. I don't know why all these people are in here. Maybe I'm going to start I don't know if there's a way to limit the chat room to just subscribers to the channel at least. At least then I would be able to, control some of this. So I don't know what they are. It's probably just kids being stupid as they are. Regional A boxes would be cheaper. Yep, that's possible too, Michelle. But I don't know if it'd be cheaper than padded flat rates though. Do you think you lose sales by charging shipping? I don't know. I mean, maybe, Rob, maybe, but you gain some back, in terms of not eating the cost on those returns. Hard to say. Let's see. Which items should I put no returns? Don't do that, Winkabee. Don't do that. I would not recommend, guys, that you ever put no returns on your listings. First of all, it's not going to work, and this has been covered many times. If they complain and they know how to kind of work the system, they're going to be able to force you to take a return unless they just do something egregious. PayPal is probably going to side with them, if not eBay. And second of all, it's bad customer service. I mean, returns are just a part of being a business. You just got to accept that. I mean, I guess there's certain things that you would say couldn't be returned. And I know some people charge restocking fees and all that. I don't know. I just think that's kind of old school. You just have to price into your your business model, guys, that you're going to get returns. And sometimes they're going to be fraudulent returns. And that's just the way it goes. I mean, that's the way it goes for Target. That's the way it goes for Walmart, for Best Buy, for PetSmart, I mean, imagine the returns at a grocery store, guys. I was just thinking about that. Like, When people return, produce or frozen goods to a grocery store, you can't resell it. It's probably gone bad, and I can't even imagine what some of their, and food goes bad anyway a lot of times. So anyway, Henry, I don't have any plush. Somebody had asked me about plush, which I am definitely not the right person to ask. I'm not an expert on plush, guys. So I don't want to. Yeah, Michelle says mine say no returns. It's, that's kind of an old school approach, Michelle, to like how eBay used to be, because I understand you don't think it's fair, but put yourself in the place of the buyer. Not every buyer is scamming you just because they want to return. And you've got to be able to go in and yeah, sorry, I got to get rid of some of these guys, these people here. Trying to let's see. You've got to be able to go in and think about how the buyer views it as, I bought something and it wasn't what I thought. I should be able to return it as long as I didn't damage or do anything to it, right? I mean, that's what you would think if you were a consumer. So why would you want to put your buyers in a position where they're unable to return to you because it wasn't what they thought? And even though you maybe described it accurately, maybe it just didn't work for them. So don't do that. Don't go into the whole I'm not going to give returns things. Not So Perfect says my hubby works at a grocery store and they take all returns. Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine a grocery store. I feel for those people because people bring back stuff half-eaten sometimes. Like, I ate half this banana and it was no good, so you just got a free banana. Okay, I don't know. So James says you can do no returns and they'll still win. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't do it. Just take returns, guys. It sucks. I get it, but it's just part of being a business, and it's just part of being I think it's part of being a good business person, honestly. So, all right, guys. Well, listen, I think that's going to do it for today. We're going to wrap it up. Please leave me comments down below, and if you got more questions about what you want to see Wednesday, leave it down there too. I appreciate you guys coming out today. Please smash that like button before you head out of the room. And lets me know I'm doing a good job. And, of course, consider subscribing if you want to get every video when it comes out. Don't forget Wednesday. There's not going to be a live show Tuesday or Wednesday. Obviously, Wednesday will be an all live show. And I appreciate you guys coming out today. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday and go kill it, as I'm sure you all normally do. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for now. So take care, and we're going to see you guys Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time till late. So there will be show after show after show. You'll have to log back in as one ends and the next one starts, but no big deal. All right, guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. And as always, this is Prof Sales saying good sales to you.